Who would be the better winner of the American presidential election in 2 weeks?
Better?
For getting this sorted in the Middle East?
I don't know, because both
Trump or Harris?
Trump and Harris, both of them are competing for who's Israel's favorite bitch. I mean, I don't understand.
You don't like Hamas, you don't like Hezbollah, you don't like terrorism. You know they've been waging terrorism against Israel. I don't know what you expect Israel to do.
What do I expect Israel to do? What do I expect the people that actually have received the occupation and the killing of Israel every day? I mean, like, you're killing them. I mean, should they just like stay silent?
So they're all,
I mean,
they're all resistance, all freedom fighters?
Yeah, for their people, yes.
In your mind, are they?
If I was living in Palestine, if I was living in Lebanon, I would actually cheer on those people, because basically they're the bigger bully with bigger guns. They're killing me. So yeah.
Be where we are.
Okay, so if you are British and you had 1 million Ukrainian arriving to your home, and then over 30 years that number increased to 30% of the population, and then the UN gave you less than half of your country, wouldn't you fight? Wouldn't you resist?
Time for that. Let me ask you specifically about the Jerusalem Post, who've accused you repeatedly of anti-Semitism. What do you say to that? I mean,
Well, everybody's an anti-Semite in the eyes of Israel.
do you think you are or not?
What is anti-Semitism?
Somebody who has a hatred of Jewish people because of their Jewish ethnicity?
Good. Where did I show that kind
I'm
of
just
hatred
asking
to
if
Jewish
you.
people?
How do you feel about Jewish people?
I mean, should I go to do the white man thing? Like, most of my friends are Jewish.
No. How do you feel about Jewish people?
Like any other people. Like any other people. What are you talking about?
When you've been accused of
So I've been accused of being a CIA
Yeah, I'm not saying you're
operative.
guilty. I'm just saying you've been
No, I've
accused
been accused
of
of so many things. You've been accused of so many things
Of course.
too, right?
And it's annoying.
Like, and then no, the thing is, anti-Semitism.
If you're not that person.
Anti-Semitism has turned into, if you criticize Israel, you're anti-Semitic.
I agree.
Yeah, so
It's been used as a protective shield against criticism.
It's a way to shut down conversation.
But there are also lots of genuine anti-Semites
Yes,
who do hate Jewish people.
of course.
And want to kill them.
And there is a lot of people who hate Muslims, and there's a lot of people who hate gays, and there's a lot of people who hate white people.
Right.
Yeah, to convince my
Can you
friends.
buy into any of their logic that they believe they are defending themselves?
Okay,
Do you believe them that they believe that?
let's put that on the test. So if Israel is defending itself, it's defending itself against an imminent danger, like an existential threat. I don't understand if, for example, Macron would announce that he will impose an embargo in Israel's arms, and then Israel goes and bombs the French oil facilities in Lebanon. How is that defending themselves? There's like a group of American doctors who were in Gaza and came back, and they reported seeing tens of children with sniper shots in their heads and necks. How is that defending themselves? Just a couple of days ago, we saw a little kid being shot by a drone. His family came to help him, and then they were all killed. How is that defending itself? I mean, I hear it, but I just don't see it. And I'm not meaning you, of course. There's a lot of deception and lies about what actually happened because most of the urban myth is that the Palestinians have squandered their chance time after time. Ehud Barak was on your show last week, and he told...
Arafat did walk away from what would have been the best deal.
That is not true.
It is true.
That's not true.
Bill Clinton talked me through the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't think he's a liar about something.
He is a liar. Do you know why?
Really?
Yeah, he is.
Why would he lie?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because in 1998, during the negotiations, Netanyahu took him aside and he told him that we destroyed the tapes. And when he said destroyed the tapes, he's talking about Monica Lewinsky tapes. This is actually like an article from the Times of Israel, when actually this was used by Netanyahu, these tapes, as a leverage to him to release Jonathan Pollard, the spy.
Like a bonkers conspiracy theory.
Times of Israel. Okay, but like, can I finish? Okay, I mean, like, you know, sometimes
Netanyahu destroyed Monica
No, he
Lewinsky
didn't
tapes.
destroy it. No, he blackmailed the sitting president with sex tapes with Monica Lewinsky.
Do you believe that?
Yes, I believe that.
Wow, the fact that Bassem Youssef actually mentioned that's insane, because it's nothing that absurd. What do you think Jeffrey Epstein is? Many people say he was a Mossad agent who just had blackmail on many U.S. politicians. Now, I'm going to continue the video in a second. I just wanted to say this is hot off the press. This video of Bassem Youssef and Piers Morgan just came out a few hours ago, and I went through it. I chose all of the highlights, the best moments, put a quick video together because I know many people don't have the time to watch the whole video. If you enjoy that and appreciate that, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and let's continue the video.
We got it. 3 things. The story of the decapitated babies.
That was not true.
Good. So why didn't the Western media refute it? Why didn't they?
Well, it
pull
was
back?
refuted very quickly.
Really?
Yes.
But
Very quickly.
how many times how many times the Western media has used that media until today? Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, is still repeating it until now.
Well,
Benjamin
it's
Netanyahu.
not true.
I know, but it was.
But it has been discounted by the media.
No, not really.
It has.
Not really. Not really. Not really. And it didn't. And in the discounting and refuting, and I think when you have an apology or a retraction, it has to be.
Yeah, but I was accused of saying it. I never said it.
You said.
No, I didn't say it.
You said. It came to me as a revelation that I read about 40 40 murdered babies. Some of them are decapitated.
Yeah, maybe in that.
You
Yeah.
said
That there should also be no place in power or government going forward for a group like Hamas after what they did on October the 7th. Would you agree with me?
Well, I'm not a Palestinian, so I cannot really.
What's your view?
Well, what's my view? Oh, yeah, I understand the view of. Well, there's two things about it. First of all, when you say that Netanyahu and Smotrich and Ben Gvir should go, it's as if as the rest of the Israeli political scene is peaceful. As a matter of fact, more than 90% of Israelis in a poll said that they should do more in Gaza. Over 70% of Israelis said that they should actually stop the aid, the humanitarian aid in Gaza. But let's talk about how, I understand the thing. Like, if you gave them a state, it would be rewarding terrorists, right? And we understand, I have to be fair. I know that a lot of Arabs will hate me for saying this, but terrorism has been actually going in the Middle East for a very long time. I mean, do you remember the bombing of the King David Hotel? 92 British soldiers were killed. The bombing of the Cairo Haifa train, over 200 soldiers, British soldiers killed. The assassination of Volker Bernadotte or Lord Moyen, all done by Israeli Zionist militias. They were the terrorists, and they were rewarded of having their own state. So I don't understand the double standard. As a matter of fact, one of the people who were in these terrorist attacks was Isaac Shamir, and he was on a terrorist list, English terrorist list, that he couldn't come to London until he became a prime minister. But to be fair, the Israeli government at the time, 1949, have actually declared the Stern gang as a terrorist group, and they arrested two of them. And they gave them very, 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 very severe sentences, 8 and 5 years, and then they were released after a month. But to your point, I think the Palestinians had done a grave mistake for not accepting the settlement that they were given by the UN partition. I mean, they were given 47% of their land. And let's go back. The Balfour Declaration was 1917. At the time, there were 60,000 Jewish people living in a 700,000 population, which makes them 8%. That number jumped from 8% to 30% after the Second World War and the Holocaust. Now, imagine yourself being a Palestinian, you're having all of these refugees coming to you, and then they're forming gangs and stealing your land and killing you. And then the UN said, I know what we can do. I'm going to give the people who just arrived 30 years ago 53 of the land, and I'm going to give the people who are already there, who form 70%, 47.
So
I'm talking.
Well, let's talk about your claim that you don't think any women were sexually abused.
Yes. Well, the Times of London, which is a right-leaning newspaper, talked about the UN report, and they said Pramila Patten, who confirmed Israeli authorities were unable to provide much of the evidence that political leaders had insisted existed in all the Hamas video footage Patton's team had watched and all the photographs they had seen. There were no depiction of rape. We hired a leading Israeli dark web researcher to look for evidence of those images, including footage deleted from public sources. None could be found. And Patton said the first letter that I received from the government of Israel talked about hundreds of thousands of cases of brutal sexual violence perpetrated against men, women, and children. I have not found anything of that. That is the UN report.
Well, the same UN Special Representative, Pramila Patten, reported in March 24 that there was, quotes, clear and convincing information that Israeli hostages in Gaza experienced sexual violence, including rape, sexualized torture, and cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment. That there are reasonable grounds to believe such abuse is ongoing. And there was also, her quotes, reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence occurred during the 7th of October attacks in multiple locations across Gaza periphery, including rape and gang rape in at least 3 locations.
But the same commission said has refuted testimonies obtained by journalists and the Israeli police. I'm reading the same report.
It's the same woman.
And I'm reading the same woman.
March 2024. So my point is, you're reading selectively from that report.
And you're reading selectively too?
I'm reading a point which actually crystal clear that there was sexual abuse and violence both on October the 7th and indeed to hostages, which may be ongoing.
No, I've read the whole report, and then what you say.
Why haven't you read that?
I've read that, and I
But
also.
if you read that, you would include that.
But if you read that,
To be
you'll include
fair,
that too. I think
all those Arab countries.
yes, I would love to have peace in the Middle East, but peace comes from justice. And the thing is, if you get peace just because you subjugate the people, that's not peace. That's
Shouldn't
oppression.
Arab countries take charge then out of this, of Gaza, of the Palestinian people, and shouldn't they lead the way? One of the arguments the Israelis say is, well, the Arab countries are nowhere, anywhere to be seen when this stuff blows up. It's always left to us to handle it. If Arab countries went in and took charge of Arab people in...
What do you mean take charge? What do you want them to do exactly?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. This again is an interview that just is hot off the press, just came out a few hours ago between Bassem Youssef and Piers Morgan. And I found it to be a very good interview. And I chose all of the best moments that I found and clipped it up into a video to make it easier for you to view, because I know not everyone has time to go watch the whole hour interview. And if you enjoyed that and you do appreciate that, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I actually do that pretty often. I'll save you some time. See you in the next video. Peace.